Peace and power, peace and power. Salute, salute. I thank the universal truth and the absolute laws of nature for guiding me, protecting me, and giving me the strength to endure the imperfect. I shall attack with vigor, making progressive moves. A divine mind knows, a divine mind shows all things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. Peace and power to the people of the struggle. As you come on in, know that this is a safe space. Know that this is a space for learning and getting learned up. Know that this is a space for educating and being educated. Know that this is a space for conversation, comments and concerns, questions and answers, building and destroying. This is a space for knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Your space, a space of integrity. This is a space of love, okay? A space where we are working towards a united front, towards true liberation. As my classroom assistants come on in, please keep all contact information in the chat for the duration of class. Please keep all funding information. Hashtags, apps, carrier pigeons, Western Unions, grams of the money, goddamn telegraphs, all that in the chat for the duration and throughout the class. Fund this war effort. If you or anybody you know is in need of anger management, please book an assessment. Don't wait until it's too late. Don't wait until it's too late. Until the officers got you hemmed up. Too late then. The HR is giving you that pink slip. Your services is no longer needed. That's too late. Okay? Book an assessment. Find out what you need to find out about yourself to keep you at an even keel. If you or anybody you know is in need of a domestic violence intervention, please book an assessment. Stop cutting up in front of the kids. Stop panicking the elders, the in-laws. Man, keep that cousin that's just coming home cool. If you or anybody you know is in need of a domestic violence intervention, please book an assessment. Okay? If you or anybody you know is in need of an intimate relationship, abuse counseling and consultation, please book an assessment. Learn the warning signs. Okay? The behaviors that should alarm you. Characters and characteristics that should heighten your awareness. People, events, and things that should alert you. Remember, with this information, the life you save could be your own. Peace and power. Before we get started, letting it be known, tomorrow class could be a dub, depending on. I never, ever planned for my Bornday. As you can see, this is consistent. Since I've been a child, I don't make a big deal about it. I never went anywhere, okay? But I do sit by the phone. I do see who recognizes and acknowledges. I'm a true Aquarius. Play yourself. That's all I ever say every year. All right? You dig? But the class could be a dub, so I'm going to go as hard as I can right now. All right? So y'all can get y'all fill. Okay? You dig? Sessions may be a dub tomorrow too. I don't know. Unless it's a dire emergency, and assessments is always on point. Okay? So again, it could be a dub. Now, not too many people to tag. Okay? For this class, same people. As I said, this is a follow-up because as you see, they haven't followed up. So tag Kendrick Lamar. He's probably back in Brooklyn, back in Dumbo under the bridge, playing with his little chick. Okay? Tag Serena, who's definitely back in the arms of her Ofe. Tag Samuel L. Jackson, the NFL, and anybody that had anything to do with that production where they played in your face. And please, tag the naysayers. Come on through. Don't take it personal, whoever it may be. It may not be for you. I've been hearing a lot. I've been getting a lot. But I'm going to tell y'all one more time. I only give you a third of what I know on here. But we're going to put all this bullshit to rest today about this little garbage show. Garbage performance. Okay? Because I haven't seen anything after yet to follow up on whatever people believe that it was or wasn't. Okay? So tag all them. Tag your classmates. Let's see who in class. Uh-oh. First in class. Classmates. Woo, she might be a regular. My little cousin. What up, Daria? Salute. What's going on with you? Yes. Welcome to class. S. Speckles, we see London is in spotty spot. Boom. Heal up now. Heal up. We got the overseas UK massive up in here. What up, Magic? We see you, little Brit. A. Wood, what's going on? We see you. Ty, what up? See Blazer, Sniper. See Blaze, if it get busy, let certain things run. Long as they ain't disrespectful and coming out and just being, you know, things that could get us tagged, let them rock, because they're going to be upset. All right? Yeah. Dustfro 517, what's good? Bam Woods, peace. Philly is in the building. What up, Tierra? The youngin' is in here. We see you. Bernie, what up, Bernadette? What's going on? Bushhead, we see you. Bushhead, it's time. All right? All right? Tell her it's time. Haven't seen it. All right? Sean Jenkins, what's going on? Brown Girl, what up, Professor Dre? We see you. PJ Allen, what up? Uptown Dre. Geechee, what up? We see you. GB, what up? Mike, nice. What's going on? Kenny's Unholy Grail. Dion Cook, 55. Dion Cook, 55. Gotcha. Daryl Maddox, what's going on? We see you, Daryl. Knife, peace. Thrax Pack TV, what's going on? Uptown Dre. Yes. We see Mahogany Phillips. Get that merch out there. We see you, Brownsville, in the building. Be original. Peace. Patterson, New Jersey. What's good? What's good? Who else? Hey, Ghoster. What up? Yeah, y'all up in here today. I see you. Kai Malone, 55. Kai, 55. Yeah, back in class. We see you. What's going on? Yeah, Snook, the Bear TV. Yes. Much appreciation for my apples. Look, what up? What up? Ramos, what up, boy? What's going on? Think for yourself. Terrell Williams. I ain't sure. 55 anyway. Hold that. Jack, what's going on? Neef Buck, 55. Neef Buck, 55. Donovan Michaels, 55. Yeah, y'all up in here. Y'all son, 55. Yeah. Y'all coming up in here with that. JT Dennis, 1999. Jean, Eileen, came here. We got Canada. First responders. Lifesavers up in here. What up, Canada? We see you, Jean. Tisha McLaughlin, 55. 55. Hawkeye, 720. We see you. Michael Hayes. Yes. Bionic Prince. What up? Shirley, what's going on? CC Reinhardt, what up? Yeah, don't talk me to death. We see you, Sultan Thomas. Walaikum assalam. With Rahmatullah with Barcard too, cousin. Yeah, we gonna cook. Ishmael, we gonna cook. D. Haven Irby, salute, peace and power. The actual governor of Marcy Niger Houses is in the building. Big D. Haven. What up, Haven? Phase on Nikki, what should you cook? Turkey burgers, damn it, turkey burgers. Sierra, what's going on? We see you. Yeah. Everybody's up in here. We got to get started. Oh, yeah. First and foremost, because people always speak, and I said it the other day, people speak about knowing shit. Freemasonry. Images. Parables. What we seeing is what not. is being said, and what is not being said is what being shown. And then all that other bullshit. So you wanted a trigger? There you go. Triggered. You want me hot and hostile? There it is, gonna be hot and hostile with excellent intelligence. So they gave you this show. You believed that the show was something spectacular. Some people said it was a straight up bore. Okay? Others people, oh, y'all missed the message. Oh, don't worry about the messenger. Catch the message. Catch the message. The message was flawed. And I said it from the rip. Okay? Flawed. First of all, if it was all that deep, you would have seen the follow-up after. You would have heard momentum. I ain't see a tweet. I ain't see nothing from Kendrick since on social media. Nothing. Nothing from Serena. Nothing. Nothing from Samuel. Nothing. Nothing from SZA. Nothing. Not a tweet. Everybody else been doing it. Everybody else been talking about it. So you don't know what they meant. They didn't say shit afterwards. But y'all smart. Y'all know what it meant. Bet you know who else knew what it really meant? The FCC. Because the FCC and the NFL got to sanction anything that come through there. Especially since after Janet Jackson. So whatever message was in it wasn't something that was going to encourage you to be a liberator or to get liberation or to seek liberation. Again, rhetorical rhetoric bullshit. But y'all loved it. So we gotta cook. Yeah, let's cook. Symbolism. Let's get it. Because that was the main crux of what people was talking about. The symbolism of this show. Symbolism, the art or practice of using symbols, especially by investing things, with a symbolic meaning or by expressing the invisible or intangible by means of visible or sensuous representations, such as artistic imitation or invention, that is a method of revealing or suggesting immaterial, ideal, or otherwise intangible truths or states. The use of conventional or traditional signs in the representation of divine beings and spirits. A symbol or a system of symbols or representations. That is what symbolism is. So a lot of those symbols that you were talking about could have been praise and worship and chanting to Massa. Whenever black people get draped in symbols that they didn't create, that they really don't know the true meaning of, they're calling on something. They're allowing themselves to be a vessel for whatever that is they draped in. So if you draped in the American flag, that is what you're calling. If you're dressed as Uncle Sam, that is who you're calling. Why would anybody want to call on that if they are of a people who have been oppressed, impoverished, enslaved, castrated, lynched? Why would you drape yourself in those symbols? Why would you present yourself in those images if you was truly woke or smart? Or, in fact, making an attempt to go against that grain. Yeah. So this is what symbolism is. Since people were so smart, we're going to keep symbolism right here. Because we're going to get down with the get down. We're going to get in it. Since everybody knows so much and know what it is. First and foremost, they came out to Dead Prez music, didn't they? Right? We heard the beat. Dead Prez ain't nothing but another public enemy. Ain't nothing but another quote-unquote revolutionary hip-hop act that was bullshit. Dead Prez came up empty. They came up a bagel, a zero, zilch, nothing. Just like PE, we got nothing for it. But rhetoric and garbage. And when I met Dead Prez, fresh out of coming out from behind the wall, expecting to see liberators, soldiers, people who were revolutionary, who was supposed to move that audience that they had into a place of revolution and true consciousness. This bozo was drunk in a club called Nels with Damon Dash and some other dude. Yeah. Yeah. Drunk. So I'm like, what kind of liberator is this that he's drunk in a club? The reason why I was going to meet him is so he can read my memoir. How I got to him is because somebody in his camp was actually behind the wall with me. She was a civilian worker. And said, yo, no, they need your leadership. Y'all can do things together. Go ahead, present him the book. I'm gonna make sure you get there. Okay, fresh out. Radical, ready to say, okay, that's the music. That's the soundtrack to the movement. And he was drunk in the club, saucy, with Dame Dash. So that killed that idea. But this is the music that he put first and foremost in front of 100 million viewers. 100 million viewers. Again, playing in your face. This is where we at with it. So I already knew from the gate, he playing games. Like I said, it ain't coming from no rappers. The revolution won't come from you. Believe in you. Okay? Now, we seen what? Most people didn't even know, other than that set was an arcade set, something that might have took us back to the, to the 80s. A lot of people don't know what Squid Games is. Only reason why I know is because my family watched it. I seen a couple episodes of the first season. That's it. This is in the second season. And the majority of melanated folk don't know what that is. It's a barbaric show where people get unalived because somebody coaxed them into coming and playing a game. People who were not only in the Matrix, but really had some type of mental illness or mental issues that gave them depression. Most of them are gamblers, and they got caught up in this game. And in this game, you could get unalive like that. So most people missed that symbolism, missed it. And it's an Asian show, Korean. The initial season, you had to read its subtitle. Again, black folks identifying with something that has nothing to do with them at all. But y'all thought that was deep. You got people believing that that's deep. Just like that Hunger Games shit. You quick to run and embrace the savagery of these old fays. That's why you get caught up in the symbolisms, the images, right? That's why you get caught up in the materialism. Nehemiah Washington, much appreciation for funding the war effort. You understand? This is what you do. You want that connection so bad that you ready to dismiss the humanity of true people. It's garbage. But people thought it was deep. Why? Because they into the show. So automatically, he missed a good percentage of black people. They missed that message right off the rip. So they wouldn't get it. But y'all think it's deep. So you got Dead Prez, you got Squid Games, 2 bagels already. Done. Done. And you get Samuel L. Jackson. You get Samuel L. Jackson, right? And Uncle Sam. We're going to get to it, but I want y'all to remember, Samuel L. Jackson is no different than Hunter Biden. Okay? No different. Democratic crackheads. So when you get all into it and holding and hugging and make, oh, Samuel was Uncle Sam. Let's remember that. That you only know who Sam is because he was a crackhead that went into acting. Y'all don't know about how he was a radical. You don't know about that unless you go deep into it. Deep into the history of the individual, like I keep telling y'all. Don't look at the creativity. Don't look at the actor. Don't look at the rapper. Go into the person and see if you dig the person. Because I don't see y'all rallying around y'all crackhead uncles and aunts. He told y'all to bang for Kamala, didn't he? He spoke at the big campaign rally in Atlanta for Kamala. Somehow he in the building with Trump, draped in his regalia of Americanism, right? Him and Hunter, same shit. Democratic crackheads. So miss me with that. Miss me with it. I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed. He been running around with Spike Lee. Democratic. And Charles Barkley, who don't know what the hell he is, but we do know he was raised by and loved O-Phase. So what Sam Jackson going to do is say that get me hyped up and want to rally behind him and say, oh, this is great, this is deep. I know he's a crackhead, ex-recovery, still in recovery. So miss me with the deepness of it and why he was selected to be there. Remember, the FCC and the NFL approved of this show. They approved of it. So ain't nothing revolutionary coming from it. Now, y'all got hyped up about the flag. Everybody spoke about the flag, right? And the symbolism and what he did and how they used the flag. Okay. That's how you use the flag, right? Let's get into that. I don't want to cut no corners. Oh, I'm gonna be late. But I'm gonna get this shit in. I'm gonna run with it. Again, classroom assistants, make sure they fund the war effort. We running hard today again. Mike gonna be here tomorrow. I'm telling you. So let's just do it. Okay? I want y'all to go back. Back. They came before Columbus. Right? One of the many texts that I have in here. But I'm not gonna stick on that. Since y'all are caught up in American symbols and what Europeans mean. And y'all think y'all know what they mean because y'all want to speak for white folk and say what the flag means. Let's get to it. Because if anybody is truly conscious and woke, they would have went back to figure out, well, what and when were flags even created or invented? Because that's what I do. I get to the bottom of it, the foundation of it. Let's go there. With the innovation of silk in China and subsequent propagation along Silk Road, flags as we know them today began to develop in China. Now, there have been what some could consider flags far back in Egypt, but it wasn't fabric. They were actually metal. Symbols. Okay? Metal on spears, metal on staffs. Wasn't fabric. So fabric, China, nothing to do with us. Let's continue. Flags that comprise cloth attached to an upright pole at one side seem to have first been regularly used by the Saracens, who introduced it to the Western world. Although they would not gain popularity in the latter until the 9th century. That means the West didn't use it to the 9th century, okay? But they was using it in what people believe to be the East, since they want to call Asia the East, China. We ain't gonna get into the semantics. We're gonna stick with it for the layman. So the Europeans wasn't even using it like that until the 9th. This is Asian, a flag that y'all ran with and said it was deep. The dudes was dancing in red and white and blue. People who are oppressed, who were lynched under that same flag, was hyped about that. That's deep? Okay. Flags are often mentioned in the early history of Islam and may have been copied from India. Tradition holds that a black flag was flown by Muhammad, peace and blessings upon him, during the conquest of Mecca in the 7th century, and that his followers flew green flags. There is evidence of such standards of being used by the grandsons of Muhammad during the Rashidun Caliphate onward, which were generally triangular and flown from a vertical flagpole. Subsequent Islamic dynasties used a variety of different colored banners to identify themselves and were often drawn from flags supposedly flown by the prophet during his life. So all of you people who claim ADOS, FBA, and don't claim nothing about Islam, nothing about being from outside over there, even though they came before Columbus too, since you're so proud and sitting here, that's an FBA message and all that. Flags don't have nothing to do with y'all unless they're European flags. So in which you're in a contradiction of your supposed principles. If you are worshiping flags and happy about seeing black folk in flags, you already got two things that y'all don't mess with. You don't mess with the Asians, you don't mess with the Arabs. Trying to figure out where it come from that you are so hyped up about a flag. Let's go. Although some flags date back earlier, widespread use of flags outside of military or naval context begins only with the rise of the nation state at the end of the 18th century, and particularly are a product of the age of revolution. Revolutions such as those in France and America called for people to begin to think of themselves as citizens as opposed to subjects under a king, and thus necessitated flags that represented the collective citizenry, not just the power and right of a ruling family. You weren't no citizen of either. You were enslaved under the banner of a flag. Molly, much appreciation for funding the war effort. With nationalism becoming common across Europe in the 19th century, national flags came to represent most of the states of Europe. Flags also began fostering a sense of unity between different people, such as the Union Jack representing a union between England and Scotland, or began to represent unity between nations in a perceived shared struggle. For example, the Pan-Slavic colors, or later Pan-Arab colors. Nothing to do, again, with melanated people. Nowhere on the continent that y'all recognize as Africa was using any cloth flags. Now don't get quiet. As Europeans colonized significant portions of the world, they exported ideas of nationhood and national symbols, including flags, with the adoption of a flag becoming seen as an integral to the nation-building process. Political change, social reform, and revolutions combined with a growing sense of nationhood, okay, among ordinary people in the 19th and 20th centuries led to the birth of new nations and flags around the globe. Okay? Yeah, snipe them when they come with ignorance. That's what you do. Snipers with ignorance. If they have a valid point to go against, let them rock. Not paying them no mind. I'll get them in the comments. We're going to have all that. You're going to keep getting them. Don't worry about it. Let them rock. Their feelings are hurt because they can't deal with the intelligence. They feeling stupid. Let's continue. Because now we're going to get into when you start seeing flags on the continent. Let's go. To understand recent Ghanaian history, flags are not a bad place to start. Ghana was under colonial rule by Britain until 1957, but the Portuguese first arrived on the Gold Coast in the 15th century. The 15th century, why? That's when the Europeans was starting to move to try to find America, but we were there before Columbus, okay? All right? 15th century is important because they talking about Columbus. Okay, let's go. Starting a centuries-long trade, industry in goods, arms, and slaves. Wonder where the slaves came from. The Gold Coast, right? But y'all want to be draped in flags and shit. Y'all think that was deep. Let's go. Fabric was a common manufactured material that Europeans brought to Africa, partially influencing the development of Asafo flags, which drew inspiration from naval insignia, navy insignia of Europeans. Okay? We were in what you want to consider Wakanda, closed off, civilizations, building with the universe in harmony till you seen flags. Let's continue. Many archival examples include variations of the Union Jack Canton, possibly because leading up to and during British rule, they saw so much of the heraldry while trading with Britain that the Asafo simply incorporated it into their own flag, making as a standard symbol of military strength. So this is a military move. When you have a symbol of a flag, what does it represent? What did the American flag represent? We'll get to it, but I want you to see that it had nothing to do with melanated folk. Let's continue. But the intrigue of the Asafo flag lies in the applique, animal, and human symbols that tell Ghanaian stories and portray local proverbs. So when they created and imitated the flags that they seen from the Europeans, they made sure that they put images of what we were about. American flag don't have no image of you. None. The American flag is a military symbol. A military symbol. Let's continue. Asafo is derived from the words sa, war, and fo, people, war people. The flags are regimental flags of the Fante people, an ethnic group that mainly resides in Ghana's central coastal region who faced conflict with the Ashanti people and their empire supported by the abundant gold reserves. Asafo companies of European-inspired military groups developed in the absence of a standing army to defend against enemies as well as partake in construction projects. The same here. You got people dancing, playing, because they get money from corporations, institutions such as the recording industry and Hollywood and movie production playing in your face against real grassroots people who don't have the funding. Same shit. Black ass coons and enemies. So it ain't nothing deep in this shit. The show was trash unless you are in alignment with not being liberated and just remaining comfortable in your oppression. You like that. You want to be draped in Massa stuff, thinking that it was some counter message in there that wasn't there. Let's continue. The flags became an important part of Fante regalia and would be flown or incorporated into dance movements representing their strength in battle or insulting rival companies. The flags were also popular at funerals. Okay? Let's get to it. The evolution of African flags can be traced through distinct eras, each influenced by the historical and political dynamics of the continent. From pre-colonial symbols to post-independent designs, African flags have undergone significant transformations reflecting the changing tides of history. But it ain't us. Pre-colonial flags, before the arrival of colonial powers, many African societies had their own distinct symbols and banners that represented their kingdoms, chiefdoms, and empires. These pre-colonial flags often featured symbols of power, spirituality, and cultural identity, serving as markers of authority and unity within the respective communities. So when you get hyped up over an American flag, you are rocking. You consider them to be a part of you. So I understand the trolls. I understand the naysayers. Because whenever you hit that truth, they get triggered. It sounds like they father. It sounds like they dad. It sounds like they unk. Chastising them, saying, yo, you stupid. Pull your pants up. Yo, you stupid. You walking out and cross the street without looking. It hurts them when you hit them with that truth. Okay? Get to dig deep in them. Yeah, that's how you do it. The designs and colors of pre-colonial flags were deeply rooted in the traditions and beliefs of the societies, reflecting their unique cultural expressions and historical narratives. These flags were emblematic of the diverse and vibrant heritage of Africa's indigenous peoples. Colonial influence. The colonial era brought significant changes to the flags of African nations as European powers imposed their own symbols and emblems on the territories they colonized. Many African flags during this period incorporated elements of the colonial powers' flags, such as inclusion of crosses, crowns, and other colonial insignia. Yeah, I just want to get deep. Because y'all don't like to hear that shit. That we was colonized since the 14th, 15th century. Before Columbus. Yeah. I ain't no slow YouTuber. I've been about this action. Let's continue. The imposition of colonial symbols on African flags represented the subjugation and erasure of indigenous identities, as well as the loss of autonomy and self-determination. So you don't want to be self-determined. You don't want to be in Wakanda. You don't want to be melanated. You want to be an American. And you don't know why. That's what burns deep. Miss me with that dumb shit. We are global. If we were here before Columbus, we are global entities. We come from the universe. We don't represent a land or a flag. You don't even understand how they've been indoctrinated. The colonial influence on African flags serves as a reminder of the enduring impact of colonialism on the continent's history and the subsequent struggles for independence and sovereignty. Let's go. The American flag. The flag was created as an item of military equipment to identify U.S. ships and forts. It don't have nothing to do with socially. Don't have nothing to do with the people. It has something to do with military and this corporation. Y'all don't even get it. This ain't no country. Americans. This is the bank. This is a corporation. This is a business. This is a military fort. It evolved gradually during the American history and was not designed by any one person. The flag exploded in popularity in 1861 when you were still getting lynched, when Kunta was still getting his foot chopped off, as a symbol of opposition to the Confederate attack on Fort Sumter. It came to symbolize the Union in the American Civil War. Union victory solidified its status as a national flag because the country's emergence as a superpower in the 20th century. The flag is now among the most widely recognized symbols in the world. Symbol of oppression, symbol of a corporation. What's the matter? Let's continue. A popular belief is that Elizabeth Griscombe, a Philadelphia flag maker, what up, Philly, who was also known as Betsy Ross, wider alias, sold the first official flag in June 1776. The legend goes that George Washington, Robert Morris, and George Ross came to Betsy Ross's house to discuss the design of a national flag. The original design had 6-sided stars representing the 13 colonies on a field of blue with red and white stripes. She suggested a 5-pointed star. The 3 men, amazed at how quickly she could cut the 5-pointed stars, assigned her the task of sewing the flag. Okay? That's the flag that y'all was happy about, that y'all said was so deep in the movements of the dancers and the representation. Y'all like that. Y'all love that. Y'all pledge allegiance to that. You was indoctrinated with that since a child. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands. Knowing, and I want y'all to know this corporation was never ever together, ever. The only time the Europeans in this corporation, in these states, is united is when they united about your black ass. They never been united here. There's never been the United States. The only time that they are united outside of cooperating, because that's all they do. They cooperate, okay? Cooperate in the corporation and get united when it comes to policies against those slaves, laborers, okay? And the ones that they want to get rid of. That's when they unite. That is why congressional bills get passed into laws regardless of the color of the Congress people, because the color of the people that they go against is always melanated. I guarantee you that. And once you sitting up in one of those halls and take those oaths, you bet to not go against their grain. That's when they show unity. But y'all hyped about this bullshit. So when the truth come out, your heart hurt. You can't breathe all of a sudden. Oh, I didn't think of that. No, you don't. Because you're not in the work. Because after the show, I had to go feed people. After the show, I had to give anger management classes. After the show, I had to console a girl who was getting beat in a domestic violence situation. Serena Williams went to go and hug an Ofe. Kendrick Lamar got rushed up out of the studio, and we don't know where he at. Ain't seen him since. Samuel L. Jackson went back to Hollywood. See, I do the work consistently. Okay? Let's go. Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam, popular symbol for the United States, usually associated with a cartoon figure having long white hair and chin whiskers and dressed in a shallow or swallow-tailed coat, vest, tall hat, and striped trousers. His appearance is derived from two earlier symbolic figures in American folklore. Yankee Doodle, a British-inspired nickname for American colonials during the American Revolution. So it was a diss. Britain is dissing you, calling you Yankee Doodle. And you put your black ass up in that outfit. And y'all think that was deep. Two people. Yankee Doodle, a British-inspired nickname for American colonials during the American Revolution, and Brother Jonathan, a rural American who, by surprising displays of native intelligence, always triumphed over adversaries in plays, stories, cartoons, and verse. So clowns. Uncle Sam's foundation is a clown. Yankee Doodle, a clown, right? Disrespecting. That's what they was doing to those who was trying to build this country. Britain called them clowns. Yankee Doodles and Brother Jonathan. Okay? The origin of the term Uncle Sam, though disputed, is usually associated with a businessman from Troy, New York, Samuel Wilson, known affectionately as Uncle Sam Wilson. The barrels of beef that he supplied to the army during the War of 1812 were stamped U.S. to indicate government property. So we got a former, let me get this right, Samuel L. Jackson. If you go back and trace along his family line somewhere, they're former slaves. So a former slave dressed in a clown costume to indicate property of the government. government. So you got a slave clowning in a costume. What are we doing? What are we doing? Property. But y'all thought it was deep. Let's continue. That identification is said to have led to the widespread use of the nickname Uncle Sam for the United States, and a resolution passed Congress in 1961 recognizing Wilson as the namesake of the national symbol. What was we doing in 1812? What was we doing in 1812? Since y'all so proud that he dressed as Uncle Sam, we know where Uncle Sam came from. We know and we know all of that about it. What was we doing? What was we doing? The United States went to war against Great Britain. The British were already waging a global war against France, one which had been raging since 1793. Canada, then under British rule, became the primary battleground between the young republic and the old empire. The seeds of war were sown in many places. Since their war had broken out, Britain and France had both tried to restrict international trade. The United States was put in an awkward position, unable to trade with either world power without incurring the wrath of the other. In response, Congress passed a series of non-importation acts and embargoes, each time trying to force the European powers to feel the sting of losing access to American markets. Europe was largely unmoved, and the United States fell into an economic depression. During this time, the British were also doing several other things that Americans considered to be insulting. They rejected America's claim to neutrality in the global war, effectively dismissing the former colonies' national legitimacy. They stopped American ships at sea and impressed American sailors, forcibly recruiting them into the National Navy on the spot. They also armed Native American tribes that preyed on frontier settlers. Native tribes who were in connection because we came before Columbus. So that means your ass had no choice, right? It's like you had no real choice between Kamala or 47. But y'all still believe that you're going to benefit from it. Yeah. As their stories testify, many of African descent did serve as soldiers and sailors aboard warships and on privateers during the war in substantial numbers on either side. Now I want you to get this picture, because we was here before Columbus, and then in the 1800s early, we talking about the Atlantic slave trade. You mean to tell me they forced you from the coast of the continent on these ships you didn't want to be on, beat you, some of us jumped into the water, then we get here, you got you in bondage, working you to death, and then in the war 1812, you gonna get back on a boat and not go home? You gonna get on a boat and fight for this? So somewhere in this recorded history, it's distorted. It's a lot of lies up in here. Because you ain't gonna beat me, put me on a boat, get me somewhere, work me to death, whip out my woman, rip out my comrades, and then I'm gonna get on another boat and say I'm a Navy man and fight for you. Somebody's lying, but y'all wanna be draped in America and American flags. You better do your damn history. This shit here is not for the unintelligent. Let's continue. Nearly 1,000 African-American sailors were captured and held in Britain's notorious Dartmoor prison, and they embraced their status as free black seamen struggling to uphold their belief in free trade and sailors' rights. Some 600 Chesapeake Bay slaves joined the British Colonial Marines and marched with redcoats on Washington, D.C. and Baltimore, while others chose to remain with their masters and fight for the Americans. Again, don't know where you belong because you're supposed to be fighting under one banner, which is African. But you stuck in the middle because you lost your way, because everything else was better than you. The American Army had not opened its enlistments to black troops, and most states did not permit blacks to muster. There were no all-black regular army units in 1812 and 1813 when Uncle Sam was created, and the black presence, when noted, was poorly documented. So all that lineage and all that shit is not documented from back then. Y'all making shit up as y'all go. Trying to get some type of black pride instead of just doing the work and fighting your oppressor. You're making up shit. You've been doing this since NFAC and all this other weirdness. You can't make this up. You got to work. Poorly documented. Along the coast of Georgia and South Carolina, enslaved peoples faced the same choices as did those in the Chesapeake. While along the Gulf Coast, they found additional choices. Some joined with the Spanish, with Native American tribes, and others with Andrew Jackson or the British. Jackson ultimately secured the assistance of most with promises of freedom and equality that never appeared. So as you see, there was so many different Europeans here that you didn't know where you were supposed to be. But you didn't think. And you still don't think right now that we need to be just under a melanated flag. Stupid asses. Well, come over here. Now I'll give y'all 1/3. Yeah. In some instances, the feats of men like Denison were recorded for posterity. But the stories of non-combatants are chronicled only often in statistics. In the Chesapeake, as many as 4,000 to 5,000 enslaved people fled to British protection and were evacuated to Bermuda, Canada, or Trinidad. In New York, Philly, and Baltimore, enslaved people and free blacks worked alongside whites to dig entrenchments for those cities, loudly proclaiming their civic and patriotic duty. Yet black-white relations worsened after the war, worsened after they had the flag, worsened after they had Uncle Sam. Collectively, black unity had demonstrated a powerful threat. Black unity demonstrated a powerful threat. Not FBA separation, not ADOS, not no church. Black unity demonstrated a threat. Engendering fears in white America that were exacerbated by memories of the recent revolution in nearby Haiti, 1791-1804. In the aftermath of the conflict, Americans destroyed free mulatto Gulf communities in the former Spanish Florida, and they viewed as a threat to peace and as a challenge to the white status quo. Okay? Later, the removal of American Indians east of the Mississippi River bolstered the Southern plantation system, creating Cotton Kingdom, the Cotton Kingdom of the mid-1800s, and further altering race relations. Meanwhile, in British dominions, former American enslaved people clutched tenaciously to the freedom they obtained with evacuation, though the British government abandoned them in a segregated naval base in Bermuda or herded them into provisionized camps in Canada and then into unsettled regions in Trinidad. They struggled economically, but they remained free. In the end, the War of 1812 did not provide greater opportunities or equality for free blacks as they anticipated, nor did it initiate a wave of emancipation for enslaved Americans seeking freedom. They would find themselves wedged between slavery and freedom and between race discrimination and egalitarianism. Their patriotic efforts had not reshaped white minds about what role they should play in society, and public memories of the war largely ignored their contributions. So keep claiming America. Keep claiming it. And I know that you're sick, that you need help. They need help. I'm American. I'm American. I'm American. But it was deep. I know why it's deep. Dying colonialism. Let's get to it. I know why it's deep. With the creation of a voice of fighting Algeria, which is media-driven, the Algerian was vitally committed to listening to the message, to assimilating it, and soon to acting upon it. Like I always say, a manifestation of your beliefs. You listen, you think, you ponder, you believe, you move. A manifestation of your beliefs. So when you think American, you move American. When you think American, you move American. When you think Crip, you read Crip. When you think commercial rap, you move commercial rap. When you think Hollywood, you believe Hollywood, you move Hollywood. Let's continue. The Algerian was vitally committed to listening to the message, to assimilating it, and soon to acting upon it. Buying a radio, getting down on one's knees and one's head against the speaker was no longer just wanting to get the news concerning the formidable experience and progress in the country. It was hearing the first words of the nation. Since the new Algeria on the march had decided to tell about itself and to make itself heard, the radio had become indispensable. It was the radio that enabled the voice to take root in the villages and on the hills. Having a radio seriously meant going to war. By means of the radio, a technique rejected before 1954, the Algerian people decided to relaunch the revolution. Listening in on the revolution, the Algerian existed within it, made it exist. So, if you're watching the show and you got symbolisms and images of America and believing that you're going to be included, you're going to manifest that. And you're going to walk away from it with what? Doing nothing, especially when there's no follow-up, when there's no comeback. But y'all keep looking at that shit thinking it's deep. Y'all keep having discussions about what you believe the symbolism meant in it. Keep it up. Keep it up, 33rd degree in the third Masons. Keep it up. Frats and sororities and sorrows. Keep it up. Good Christian people. I want to see. What's the follow-up? Because these dudes is renaming whole gulfs of water. Yeah, this is us now. These dudes are talking about smashing the whole country. Yeah, get them people out of Gaza. We taking Gaza while y'all worrying about a damn seawalk. Keep it up. Keep it up. Because I don't know what images y'all got. This is my image. This is a hero with an African face. I didn't see none of that on no flag. Not once. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Let's go into it. All right? Because it's my born day. So y'all got to know that I don't be coming on social media to play. Let's continue. Flower and mantis mirror each other. For as a flower unfolds, so too does the mantis in 3 stages, from chrysalis to larva to winged being, man, woman, and child. Here, we also have a familiar motif, usually symbolized by a butterfly that depicts both the 3 modes of human consciousness: unconsciousness, waking consciousness, ecstatic consciousness, and the 3 realms of being: the realm of the underworld abyss, the realm of humanity, and the realm of divinity, none of which you saw in that show. As you can see, neither did Uncle Sam nor the American flag be birthed from humanity or spirituality. Those are war symbols. War symbols of the American corporation. But your dumb ass want to be engulfed in it. Right? Right? Again, don't come playing with me. I know my shit. Let's continue. Since y'all thought Serena was slick, and I told you I don't know of anybody who was that successful who lost somebody as close as a sister who was also an assistant to gang violence that's going to do a sea walk. And for y'all who keep saying it's a dance, it ain't a dance. It's not. But she was happy to do it and then go dance to the Ofe. Excuse me, let's go. Because if you don't know how serious that life is, get this book. So you can know how serious sea walk is. But if this isn't enough, you don't need the history of this, get this. City of Courts, Mike Davis, that tells you exactly the history and the origins of LA, period. Everything. The church, Hollywood, gang life, ramparts. So we can see how serious the sea walk is. It's not a dance. But y'all thought it was cute. Oh, there's no harm in that in 2025. Let's go. The dance is primarily an act of performing quick and intricate footwork. The rivalry between the Crips and the Bloods spilled over into the world of entertainment with the adoption of the gang dance. See how they diminished what it is? Okay? This dance involves movements of one feet, classically to the spelling of CRIP. It was used by Crips at parties to display affiliation, particularly this rival gang, the Bloods. It was also used after unaliving someone to give the killer Crip signature. All right? And if it wasn't so bad, why 20, 30 years ago, let's go, it was banned. Manual Arts High School in South Central Los Angeles has long had to contend with gang problems. For years, the school has forbidden gang colors, Blue for the Crips and red for the Bloods. If you go to a spot where the Bloods are and you do the C walk, you are going to get clapped, said Abdul Rahamid, a student at Crenshaw High School. No gang colors, no gang moves. That's what's on there. Officials feel it is critical to keep those schools free of gang symbols, whether on a t-shirt or on the dance floor. We don't allow any kind of gang stuff, said Manual Arts Principal Ed Robillard. In terms of dress codes at school, we don't allow red or blue laces. We ban ball caps. But y'all let this over 40 chick play in y'all face. A mother with 2 kids, rich, married to an old fae, it's all right. I bet Olympia won't be doing no sea walk. Ask Serena, tag Serena, let me be very clear. Will Olympia be sea walking? Will Olympia be in first and second and third grade in Compton? I bet you not. I could bet my life she won't be there. Yeah, guarantee you that. I guarantee that. But it's okay for her to do that in front of 100 million people. Because her and Olivia is safe with the Ofae in a mansion somewhere. Right? I'm just saying. But I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's go. No one disputes that the dance originated with the Crips, a violent street gang that appeared in the Los Angeles area in the early 1970s. The sea walks, jitter, stutter, step combination of foot pivots and shuffles were on display at gang celebrations more than 20 years ago. This is an article from 2002. Now, let's see what your favorite rappers say about it. I'm sea walking on an MF and concrete, raps Ice Cube on Go to Church. Other Crip walkers include Exhibit, Corrupt, and Snoop, who does it in the Drop It Like It's Hot video. Okay? While West Coast gangster rappers usually don't dance, they quite often sea walk. The dance has its roots in 70s Compton. As its name suggests, it was created and popularized by the Sea Gang. And it was characterized by hopping and twisting your feet in a V shape. The Sea Walker creates signs, gang symbols, or letters that spell out a word. Did she spell out liberation? Did she spell out freedom? Did she spell out protect black women? Did she spell out black girl excellence? What was she doing other than playing? What was she doing other than playing and getting y'all hyped up? I hear it. It's not exclusively used by the Crips. In fact, many gangs use it to create their own vocabulary. This is what it is. But y'all thought it was hot. Red Flag, in his song The Street, Snoop warns non-gang bangers against doing it. Least they disrespect it. CJ Mack's documentary Sea Walk raises a question. Is it a dance or a gang ritual? Many gang members insist that it is strictly the latter. Corrupt was quoted in allhiphop.com as saying people have lost their lives over that dance. But again, her sister blood don't mean nothing. All I want, listen, man. Listen. I'm saying, don't ever come weak when you coming at me. Don't come weak when you coming at me. I'm sincere about loving my people. I'm sincere about true messages. I don't play. The show was ass, trash. I haven't seen nothing yet. I haven't seen a book drive. I haven't seen a food giveaway. I haven't seen nothing that encouraged liberation. Did they give anything to the folks in Cincinnati who just fought off And I got to check that out and see if that's right and exact since y'all keep sending it to me. That photo of these whites are supremacists. Oh, did they send any bread over there? Kendrick, did you send any arms over there? Serena, Sam Jackson, did y'all help those people in Cincinnati? What's the follow-up since this was so symbolic and hidden messages and all that? Where's it at? Where's the follow-up? Coming out with that bullshit. Y'all dare come at me weak. Y'all better come right. I've been telling y'all for decades, I'm not those other dudes. I'm about my work. Bozo shit y'all praising. I get sick of that dumbness. If it was all that and he had all that control, why didn't he symbolize the spook who sat by the door? He was doing the same shit. He had on the spook who sat by the door era bell bottoms on. Why the hell he didn't do that? And put different images and symbols of the spook who sat by the door. Since there was so much hidden messages in it, why he didn't do a whole show based on that? Come at me sideways talking about y'all know what the hell he was talking about and how symbolic it is. Why he didn't do the spook? Had on the spook jeans. All the sisters wore the tight top, open bell bottoms back then. Yeah. The ooh, I'ma tell mama slacks. Yeah. Why he didn't do the spook? He could have did a whole bunch. Why did he choose America? Because he worshiping it. So again, look, I gotta go. I do what I gotta do. Again, much appreciation beforehand for all the Bornday praises, wishes, and all that that's gonna come tomorrow. If I can get on, if the family allow me to, if I'm not in the mix, I may be on. Okay, but listen, don't come at me sideways. I'm so sincere, and I'm talking to y'all trolls, anybody. And for those who really feel froggy, again, I'm gonna tell you, 155 Workman Avenue, East New York, Brooklyn, between Jersey and Vermont. But make sure when you come, you have already told your loved ones, your belongings, your lawyer, with any type of will, what you want on a t-shirt. Because we don't play out there. If you really feel froggy and you think that this here is social media and that I'm one of those dudes, I'm there. I'm there. I'm not these dudes. Classroom assistants, much appreciation for holding it down. To those who funded the war effort, salute. Much appreciation. To those who didn't, I know how it go. I know what it is. The people coming through to think I'm ever going to contradict myself. Nah, I've been doing it too long. Okay? All my truckers, get home safe, watch the weather. Pull over if you got cat shit in your eyes. Don't drive like that. Okay? Anybody that needs serious help, you're going through a DV situation, reach out, book an assessment. My people, y'all know what y'all supposed to do. Get y'all sessions in. All right? Do what y'all need to do. Remember, guard your mind, y'all. Don't let them play with it. Guard your mind. Guard your mind. They playing in your face. And don't believe in me. Believe in my belief in you. Don't believe in me. You don't have to believe this whole entire class, but believe in my belief in you, because I know you can be liberated. That's for real. 55 gang, get y'all grades up.